Morning, everyone. Happy Friday. It is April the 6th, and today's live lesson will be covering lesson 1.5, which is your persuasive essay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip my screen right now, and I am going to... Sorry, guys. Takes a second, as always, technology. I'm going to flip my screen and we're going to go over some basic requirements in regards to expectation for your paper that is in fact due next week. So here we go. Again, my screen gets all wonky and I have no idea why. Alright guys, so here we are. Here is our lesson 1.5, which is our summative task. So what this does is it kind of breaks down the expectations of what is an actual essay. So we get into some linguistics in regards to where the word comes from, place of origin. We get into proper understanding of parts of an essay. So the idea of thesis and preposition, the idea of issues, the preposition, which is, again, your overall argument of the essay. Your supporting points or arguments are in fact called the issues. Therefore, preposition is true because issue 1, 2, 3 is true. Again, this goes more into the sort of foundation structural aspect of an essay. I mean, good to know in the back of your mind, not necessarily a requirement for the actual assignment. How to write an essay, I always like including some visuals within it. So if this video helps you in any way, please have a quick look at it. It's not too bad in terms of length. I think it's like less than 3 minutes or just over 3 minutes, but it could actually in fact help you. And then we get right into our first, third, second, fourth, fifth body paragraphs. So the idea of a 5-paragraph persuasive-like paper is that your first paragraph is your introduction. And it's understanding that within your introduction, you have to hook your audience, which means you are going to create a proper paragraph. So again, 5 to 10 sentences, of which you are trying to engage your audience with your topic. Now, at the bottom of your introductory paragraph, that's where your thesis, that's where I will go and find and you will place your thesis. Within your thesis, pardon me, you have your 3 arguing points. So again, magical rule, magical number of 3, and at a 4 college level, I know you've heard or you are very familiar with the idea of the 3 arguing points. So you state the purpose of your paper, and you back it up and you basically state what your 3 arguing points are at that point in your thesis. Your introductory paragraph essentially is your outline for the rest of your paper. So from your introductory paragraph, from there, you take your first arguing point, and that becomes your topic sentence right here for your second body paragraph. Then, like a domino effect, your second point or your second argument that I will find in your thesis will in fact be your topic sentence for your 3rd paragraph, then your 4th paragraph, and of course your last paragraph is in fact your concluding paragraph. That is where you take, kind of like if you're in a courtroom and you're a lawyer and the judge asks you, okay, are there any closing statements? Each lawyer will stand up and they will in fact reiterate and kind of recap all the evidence that was presented before they make their sort of closing statements. It's the same idea. Your concluding paragraph restates all the arguing points, all the evidence of which you've presented for your argument, and it restates them in a concluding paragraph, and that is how the reader ends your point. It's what they walk away with, is that sort of closing paragraph, how everything is organized and wrapped up. So I mean, that is your most basic rundown of what an actual essay structurally looks like. And then of course the writing process. So brainstorming, selecting an argument, researching, pre-writing, and editing. Now, I have to say this to you. When you submit your final paper to me, I want all your rough work. I want it all. It all counts for marks, and that is super important for you guys to know. Sorry guys. There we go. Super important for you guys to know. Under thinking and inquiry on the rubric and under application, that is where your rough work, where you're going to get marks for it. And that proves to me a couple of things. It proves to me your effort. It proves your thinking pattern, your thinking process, that this wasn't created in 5 minutes or less. It's basically kind of like a roadmap of where this idea, this topic took you. It doesn't have to be neat and pretty all the time in terms of rough work by any means, but if you've written it out on paper, take pictures of them, upload them. It counts for marks, and I can't stress that enough. And then this kind of gets into the difference between what is a series of paragraphs versus an essay format. And basically the idea that although they look very similar in nature, an essay is in fact more academic. A series of paragraphs can actually count from anything from 3 to 5, whereas an essay, there is an expectation that that you have your 5 paragraphs. All research and essays need to be cited. Academic essays are not usually written in first person. We're not getting too crazy into that yet. We will as we go. But because this project specifically, you're going back to your discussion board, you are pulling your persuasive paragraph, and you're building a paper from there. So I'm not expecting this like great depth of research by any means. This is more you're demonstrating to me your ability to create an argument, write structurally, write in a supported manner, using or relying more so on your own voice rather than research. So I'm going to flip back here. There we go. Okay. So I'm just going to reiterate a couple of things one more time, and then I think I'm going to wrap it up because I don't want these to go longer than 10 minutes. So again, you are going back to your discussion board. You are pulling your persuasive paragraph, which you've already done and you've already submitted. I've made comments on everybody's. There's a couple I haven't, which I'm still working through right now. And you are going to build your paper based on that paragraph, on that topic. I've already had students ask me if they can switch. The answer is yes, you can switch, but just know that you just won't have that same feedback. So it's totally up to you. You are permitted to do so. Keeping in mind there are 5 proper paragraphs. Keeping in mind I do not want all this like super research and different websites and all of that. We're going to get there. We're definitely going to work with writing that requires research to go into it. But for this particular assignment, it's not so much about the research and all the quotes and stats and information. It's about your perspective, your opinion, your ability to formulate an argument, and your own independent ability away from the internet to support that using your own skill, your own knowledge. So I know a few people will bring in a little bit of research and citation, and if you are confident to do it and it's not overpowering to your whole paper, fine. But I really haven't gotten into the proper formatting and structuring of that. So just be mindful. Because if you're going to bring in a little bit of research, that's okay. It can't overpower, and it has to be done so in a proper format. So I would prefer for this assignment that we stick to our 5 proper paragraphs, like I said, and our own perspective, our own opinions. That's kind of what I'm looking for. Very specific skill sets in this case that I need to know are established for when we go on to the second unit. So I'm going to cut it here. Hopefully that was helpful in regards to when you're actually starting your proper papers. And if you guys need any help, you know how to get a hold of me. I'd be more than happy to help you one-on-one if needed. And if not, have a great weekend, guys, and we'll talk soon.